What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, and I have something ultra special for you today. This is the Jungle Master. It's the JM034 model, and it is the quintessential $15 knife, bowie, machete thing. I don't know. I mean, you could probably use this as a child's car seat. It's so fat. And I have to say, I'm not a fan of these cheap-ass nylon sheaths, but this one actually gets the job done. We're going to throw that away. This thing comes with the I don't know, it's not paracord. It looks a lot weaker than that. It's just some kind of string, but it looks cool on there, and it helps for when you're doing certain tasks. I throw my pinky around there for extra comfort when I'm chopping, and it works. It's 15 3/4 inches overall with a 10-inch blade, and it's got some very tight serrations. Now it's only like 3.5 millimeters thick, which means when you're talking about 16 inches pretty much, that is very thin. I mean, that is very thin. Listen, you hear that little twang in there? That's because that's a thin ass blade. The scales, while pretty cheap, are actually on straight, and they're comfortable. The scales are not bad. Here in this finger notch right there, the steel on that is fairly sharp. It's enough to where it would bother you after a while. And here, the reason I wrap my pinky around especially is because here is pretty sharp, and when you have gigantic mammoth hands, that gets quite uncomfortable. However, throwing my pinky around that changes the game, and all of a sudden this thing becomes a pretty comfortable tool. Now, the actual sharpened edge is just your common edge. This is not sharpened. This is not sharpened. One good thing about this being so thin, and being that this is 90, you can throw spark from almost anywhere on this thing. It is great for throwing spark. Another thing, it's just crap stainless steel. I mean, it is crap Chinese made Jungle Master stainless steel. Nothing to brag about, you know what I mean? It's nothing to write mom about. However, this thing sharpens insanely easy. It's a 15 type dollar, $9.99, $19.99, anywhere in that range type knife, and it's one of those things where you think to yourself, I would never buy that, because the price is obviously going to reflect the quality. Yes and no. Okay, so I don't know if I can get it, but right here, if you look at this grind, I don't even know if you could see it, but it's just like a little wobble in the grind. That's not a wobble in the edge. That's just poorly ground. You could actually see it on both sides, where this spot right here, the grind bows a little bit. Who cares? It's just the grind. For a thin knife, and I'm assuming maybe, they consider this a machete probably, and that would explain the 3.5 millimeter thickness. And if you are using this as a machete, it's fantastic. It really is. This is $10, $20 marvel as a machete. It's comfortable. The jimping on the palm swell right here, fine, feels good. The jimping in the front with that ramp style front of the blade here, back of the blade, it's fine. It feels good. You have jimping right here on the little hammer end. It's fine. It's good. Aside from it being a cheap piece of shit, it's really hard for me to find too many things to complain about. And I know that sounds weird. How can you find hard things to complain about when it's a cheap piece of shit? It's a cheap piece of shit. What do you want? It's a thin 3.5 millimeter, 16-inch machete bowie type knife thing. And as easy it is to chip the blade by hitting something solid, it's just as easy to sharpen the blade and get rid of those chips. Also, if you're using this as a machete and you're going through brush and things like that, you're not going to chip this blade. It's not going to be hindered. it's actually going to work. So price point is awesome. Anybody can afford this knife. Practicality. If you are a bushman and you are going through trying to find a trail for hunting or whatever you're doing, you're nature walking, this thing really, it gets the job done like any kukri is going to do going through brush. And I'm going to take you out and show you that. Batoning, you're most likely, I don't know if anybody's seen my my Schrade Bowie video where hitting it just, I had a bunch of wobbles in the blade from smashing that thing down on a pallet. This would probably give you the same action. I don't trust it as far as hitting hardwoods, but for what it's made for, I don't think that's its intended use anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. We'll toss it into the stump. We'll take it out. We'll do a little carving with it. It is pretty sharp. I don't know if it's going to take any hair off. No, it's not shave sharp. But it doesn't have to be, because there's so much ability to get weight behind the swing. It doesn't need to be as sharp as some other knives would need to be to get through what this thing is going to go through. With that being said, like this, we're going to go and actually show you rather than sit here and mumble it out. Let's go. But first, I have one of these bottles. It's a little bigger than a regular water bottle. Waddle bottle? I don't know if that's what I said, but that's what it sounded like. So what I want to do is I just want to take a quick, I told you it's not crazy sharp, but it's supposed to be able to get through things, and this is a thing, and we're going to try and get through it. So let's take a good swing at this here. Well, for a non-sharp blade, I think you guys can see that. That is a pretty sweet cut. I probably shorthanded that, and that's why it didn't get all the way through, because either that or it's just because I knocked it down mid-swing. You know, the force not being as sharp as some others, it pushed it, but it did give it a really nice cut. I was trying to get up by the bottle head where it's really stiff. You can see that nice little line there. That is it's sliced but mostly through, not all the way through. So let's go again. This is kind of good because usually knives just breeze through this stuff. This one isn't, so it's showing you, you know, what it can be used for and what it can't be used for. Chopping water bottles in the wild is probably not something you're going to face anyway. And, well, c'est la vie. Just as I thought it wasn't going to do it, it did it. It's like giving me one of those, hey, fuck you, man, I can do it. So, the Jungle Master, let's go play some more with it. Alright, I told you this thing's not good for chopping things like a pallet, but I'm Donnie B all day, which means I don't care. Alright, so I'm going to give it a few, just to see what the bite is like. And, well, the bite is actually pretty damn good. Let's see, no wobbles yet. And, alright, I'm happy that it's making me feel stupid or look stupid, because this blade in no way, shape, or form should be able to take those kind of hits without chipping or without warping. No chips, no warps. Obviously, the broken knife gods aren't with me today, but the working knife gods are shining upon me. So let's see, we can carve with it, and I have to say the jimping is comfortable. Not too bad. So it's not a you can feel when you're using this thing is not made to carve. Is it going to shave some wood down? Yeah. Would I be better to do it this way? Absolutely. I think it's moving on me, but you can see, I hope you can see, that you're going to remove more wood faster by doing it this way rather than the traditional way. Let's see if we can, we should have no problem because it does have an edge on it. Feather sticking. Now, I just lost them, but you got to be careful when you're feather sticking with a side grip, because the serrations at the top are really good. So keep your fingers right before that serration. It's a big, heavy blade. So as you can see, they're making really nice curls. I'm just dropping them all because it's harder to control. I know a lot of people like to do feather sticking by digging down on a blade. I just prefer to do it the other way. That's me. That's not knocking them in any way. That's just preference. So far tasks completed are good. I gotta wipe the dirt off my finger pressing stop since I do this all by myself. I'm a loner. All right, let's keep going. All right, so I started playing you guys before I actually got you balanced. My bad, sorry. So this thing, it is not going to be a prying knife at all because of its 3.5 millimeter blade, but this thing is dropping into the stump and getting really good bite. And the Jungle Master, it's doing the job. I mean, there's no tip deformation. The thing, I mean, it's just flawless, and in as far as your ease of use to do things like just putting into some wood like that. Let's see, I'm getting really good bite into it. The thing is, that's hardwood there, and it's doing a lot better than I would expect it to be doing. It's not too bad, guys. 1-inch forest trees. Since I don't have any more standing, I just have to use whatever is already fallen down. This is soft, but if you're going to be doing machete type work, if you're going through the woods, a lot of these are probably what you're going to be cruising through, and that's just boom, 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 boom. Easy money for something like this. For this money, it's insane. Oh, you know what? While I'm here, let's show you. This is just awesome. The sharp. Look at how pretty that is. How sharp these are, and I'll tell you what. If you want feather sticks, look at this. Look at this, guys. Honestly, check that out. I mean, I can make fluff with this. Look at these. Look at that. That's $10 to $20 right there. $10 to $20. Is it an Essie? No. Is it a Tops? No. Is it a Case or a Buck or a Cold Steel? No. But is it going to get the job done? Hitting that bush? Yeah. I sound like a horse there. Ooh. All right, a ghost horse. Ooh. So let's continue. We're gonna go hit some actual brush, which is what the damn thing's made for, and which I should have probably done a long time ago. So let's go do that. Come on. Okay, people. So here we have brush. I need to take this stuff down anyway, so why not at least get some of it right here. It's literally, I know it's hard to tell because there's so much of it. It's just showing you through this camera, me whacking at it. You're not going to really see it disappearing, but I'll let you know. It's so easily through this stuff. And if this is my wannabe path, if this is how I get to the other side, so to say, and I need to get through it, this thing is going to get the job done all day long. It's just so easy to chop with this thing. Now I'm going to tell you, like I told you before, that this little finger notch is sharp. That's the only thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the cordage around the entire grip. And I don't know if it's going to slip off, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to do it. So let's see here. Well, it does it. By wrapping your hand around the cord, it'll slip. By using the pinky around, it gives you a much better hold on this. Somebody with smaller hands might not feel this finger notch as much as I do, but it's definitely noticeable in my grip. I can feel it when I come down, and this little area right here, I might grind this away and it would be a perfect grip by grinding those 2 points away. But this pinky area and that finger notch, those two grinded away, this thing would be a perfect machete. It'd be a perfect compact machete. It's just, it goes through this stuff literally like a breeze. I know you can't really probably see how much I'm actually taking down, but this whole bushel of stuff is just takes seconds. And if I'm going through the woods and I'm actually hacking away for real, I'm impressed. For this price point, again, how do you like that? It really gets the job done. And another thing, I went through a stick on that. It would be good for digging. This thing is an absolute shovel, you know what I mean? So now let's go over the blade with everything we've done so far, and I could see a couple of little ticks in the front of the blade, and not the blade but the edge, the very fine edge, but nothing that isn't common for, you know, regular machete use. I'll tell you what, guys, this thing right here, the Jungle Master JM034, oh, and by the way, this is the premium design. Look at that. I'm not making this shit up. Somebody actually took the time to write premium design on this thing. Who the fuck do they think is buying this stuff? Anyway, it's a awesome little machete. This thing will get the job done just easily. You know what we should do, because this is a machete and you're not supposed to throw machetes? Well, I just told you. Let's go. All right, boys and girls. So we are going to do a 5-yard throw with the Jungle Master machete. I'm pretty sure that the machete isn't happy about this news, because it knows that it's not made for this crap. But we're going to try anyway. I've never thrown anything shaped like a board, but we're going to see what we can do here. All right, stay with me. 5 yards. We back up a little bit here. That was the most ugly sound coming off of a short throw. I threw that so freaking soft. I'm probably gonna break this thing in half, but for the amount of money, I would definitely buy another one. So if I break it, I break it. I don't know if it's the scales rattling or what, but what's the best part about this, guys, is, I don't know if you're really catching this, but the tip is hitting every time. Look at the chunk it's taken out. That tip is absolutely hitting, but it's just refusing to go in. I'm gonna throw a different style here. I changed up my grip. I'll show you what I did. All right, so I'm throwing at 5 yards. What I like to do is I like to go from the blade, and I like to come overhead. That time what I did is I grabbed the reins here, and I opened up my hand. So when I released it, it just fell out this way. And that's where I got that motion. That's how I got it to stick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try it one more time just to see if it wasn't a fluke. And because I said that out loud, that's probably just a fluke. Boys and girls, I could throw a machete. All right, so anyway, let's just finish it right here. I normally like to do a whole lot of talking about it, but you know what it is. It's the Jungle Master freaking machete. 15 3/4 inches long, 10-inch blade, 3.5 millimeters thick. This works great right here. If you want to do feather sticking, I would recommend that you use the Serrade. I didn't really test it as a saw so much. I'll just use something cheap. But I'm assuming, I wish I had this more solid. I'm assuming that because it's just such a good serrade. Oh yeah, that is butter smooth as a saw. That's not a break, that's a cut. That was really, really easy. That's not so bad right there. Wow, that serrade. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, look at the lines in that thing. Boop. Check that out. This thing, either way, is going to work well. I was going to try and notch, but I think I had too much power there. Ta-da! So it's just a simple tool to use. It's a good tool to own. If you need a machete in a go bag, this thing takes up a lot less space than your standard machetes. With only a 10-inch blade, you're still going to get through all the normal things you'd get through needing a machete for. It works very, very much like your kukri. I like it. I absolutely like this thing. I would love to sit here and tell you about how much of a piece of shit it is. Because of its price point, you just want to automatically assume that this thing is garbage. But I mean, this is a throwing machete. I don't know. I like it, guys. So if you want something cheap and you want something that looks really pretty badass, this looks badass, and you want something that's, aside from 2 points and maybe with a hand size difference, it would make a difference, but that's really comfortable in the grip, I would definitely jump on eBay and type in Jungle Master, either machete, Jungle Master knife, or just put in the JM034, you know, Jungle Master first, obviously. I doubt you'll have to type in stainless steel premium design handcrafted in China. It's on there. You'll find this will pop up, and when it does, you're going to look at the price and you're going to think, really? And then you're going to buy it and you're going to use it and you're going to say, holy shit, Donnie B all day was onto something here. That piece of crap is definitely worth having as either a backup or just a straight up machete. It is really, really, really good for a basic use type blade. I don't know, I'm recommending this, and I don't generally recommend sub $20 knives. I am recommending this knife for what it's used for. Really, really good little blade. All right, guys. Well, I am Donnie B all day, and until next knife.